All right, guys. I'm live here today. I don't know if anybody's going to join, but I figured I'd get some things out there. I saw something today where people were trying to show that Palestinians were, well, cheering on the 9/11 trade towers going down. Okay, Palestinians did that. Fine. I'll give you that. So a bunch of idiots cheered it. After years of oppression by Israel and the United States supporting Israel, you know, they did it. Okay, but you know, most countries don't like us. It's a fact. They're one of them. And why? Well, when you end up, helping another country, kill their children, and since they're about 90% children, I believe that's the proper amount. I could be a little wrong about that, but most of them are children. Yeah, I'll go there. Now, uh, as far as 9/11 goes, all right, so some of you might be pissed off about that. How come nobody's ever pissed off about Saudi Arabia? The guys that actually flew the planes into the trade towers were all Saudis. You have that. You have the fact that Saudi Arabia actually put so much money in to spread their version of the Muslim belief, which is actually the belief that actually is used against everybody else. Even Iran doesn't do it. If you look at Saudi Arabia and you look at Iran, Iran looks at us as we are ignorant and we could be saved. That's the way Iran thinks of it. Saudi Arabia believes we are all infidels and should die. That is the way they teach that. Matter of fact, so much so that Muslim religions in the US, those that are actually supported by Saudi Arabia, have to be taught that version. The same thing with our prisons. Our prisons are only allowed to teach the very version that Saudi Arabia has. What did we do? When 9/11 happened, we got out all the Saudis. Why? Because they actually had something to do with it, like it or not. They say bin Laden had stuff to do with it, and that's possibly or most likely true, and I kind of do believe that he had a lot to do with it, but I also believe he was a patsy set up. So, yeah, you have somebody that's a patsy, they're set up, and, I mean, did he take part in it? Yeah. So did a lot of other people. If you watch the Looming Towers on Hulu, they came right out, and the CIA said, "Here, everybody's worried about what Trump's going to say, so here, have your information is all unredacted," and they put it out, and the CIA even admitted that they knew of this stuff before it was going to happen, and that they let it happen. If you really want to get down to it, the CIA has actually multiple times, at one point with JFK, walked into his office and said they wanted to put bombs in Florida. So just, put two and two together. So on that, I personally wonder about our government's involvement in it. And I know that Saudi Arabia had involvement in it. And I know that our government protected Saudi Arabia people. The Saudi Arabian royal family was moved out of the United States because of this. So there you have that. How come we're not pissed off enough about that we don't go after Saudi Arabia? Oh, yeah, that's right. They buy millions of dollars, billions actually, of weapons to commit genocide in another country. Why do we support Israel? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they purchased millions of dollars to commit genocide in another country. And on top of that, if you really want to get down to it, I can't remember the exact date, but I remember hearing something a long time ago. There was a United States of what was it's not an aircraft carrier. It was a well, the United States naval ship. Either way, and apparently this was in the 70s, and we sent we had this Israel send their planes to actually take out one of our um, United States battleships or naval ships, and we were trying to use that as a false flag to go to war because we were going to blame it on Israel or Iran again. And this was back in like the 70s or something. I can't remember most about that, but that was something I heard. And if all that is true, which it's something I need to do the research on, so don't quote me on that one 100%. But if that's true and I can find that information, then that is another time that we paid for our own troops to be attacked. Ugh. Okay, now beyond that, there is some other little things. All right? I want you guys to think about it this way. Big Pharma, basically all the people that do all our vaccines, our medical, all those wonderful little things that we have, right? How many times have they screwed up something? All right. How many times have they placed a product in? I believe there's one for like hip replacements, something like that. That was actually, doctors were insisted to do this. Recently, I remember hearing about it on the news, where doctors were told that they should do it, even though it had nothing to help out the surgery. And apparently, the product was ineffective, and of course, they were sued over it many a times. This has happened many a times with Big Pharma, with our medical industry. Okay? They charge us a ton of money. We even pay for this stuff to get made, like in the case of the vaccine, through our government taking our tax dollars, giving it to them. Then they charge us a lot of money, and they pay for lobbyists in the government. Those lobbyists push that vaccine or those pills or that whatever onto us, like they're doing right now. They're putting all of us to get a shot. Now, I'm okay with a shot as long as it's actually proven safe. I don't believe them. No offense, but I don't believe any American pharmacy program or big pharma program, medical company program. They're in it for nothing but money, and they're not even proving anymore that stuff actually works. That's the problem. That's why they get so many callbacks with this. Okay? So, needless to say, it's not really a good thing. Now, I will, if it ever comes available in the United States, I will take the Sputnik V vaccine. It's the one I trust. Yeah, folks. I trust the Sputnik V vaccine. Why? Because it wasn't made by Big Pharma. Why? Because there are no deaths on it. And the only thing anybody has anything against it is the fact that it was made by Russia. Now let's go farther in on the vaccine. I believe that the vaccine was created in NIH. Or not the vaccine, the virus was created in NIH in 1992. I also believe it was created by a Dr. Paul Lee, who was an American. I do not believe that he created it for malicious intent. Now, call this a theory, But I do believe that the vaccine, okay, was created at that point to basically be one of the fuck ups for the United States, NIH saying, they screwed up. We were trying to make something better. And they get a lot of things that they make that are viruses or worse in the process of looking for cures. Now, I also know that the CIA's playbook that they release every so many years actually had this scenario down. Somebody actually wrote a book about it in the 1980s. Yeah. Why? Because they thought back then it was safe and they were never going to do it. Well, they did it right down to the letter, including putting it in Wuhan. And in the book, it was called the Wuhan virus, 1980s. Yeah, and the CIA's playbook itself had this in it then. So Dr. Paul, I believe his little virus was the one that was used, his accidental virus that was, basically mutated. I believe he was looking for, more of a cure for something else. And I think the CIA planted it in Wuhan for political and other reasons. Now, so yeah, like a lot of other things, I believe that all the bad things that have been happening have come from the United States. And I don't mean figuratively either. I'm not saying, oh, I just blame them. No, I'm saying motherfuckers actually did it. Okay. Our United States government does things to benefit themselves, to benefit their lobbyists, to benefit people that the lobbyists work for. It's just a fact. It's something that actually happens on a regular basis. Okay, guys? Now, and I know nobody's watching this right now. I did have one person that jumped in. So, yeah. So you have that. I'm not with Israel on this because I believe their policies are wrong. And I don't care what happens. I do not condone the extinction of children. And for those of you out there that are evangelicals or whatever Christian religion you are that say you don't believe in murdering kids to the point where you will not let somebody or do not want somebody to have an abortion to the point where you're against abortion, then why are you for murdering children over in Palestine or Iraq or any of those other places? Okay. I will let you in on a little secret. A lot of people say, well, I saw this in a statement once. I did not own slaves, and people saying stuff like that. But slavery is for whites and blacks. Just take a look at our prison system. So, is our policies racist? Well, our war policies are racist. When was the last time we attacked a white country? World War II. Pretty much. Everybody else has been brown. As George Carlin says, what they have brown people, bomb them. That's was his remark back when he was around, and that is actually how our policy goes. What they have brown people, and they have bigger dicks than us, bomb them. It's called the bigger dick policy. George Carlin described it perfectly. You can look him up. He's a great comedian. He passed away several years ago, and I wish he was still alive, but probably better than to see the crap that we're going through now. Guys, put two and two together. Follow the money. Follow the money with the vaccine. Follow the money with all our war efforts and our bombings. Oh, and another thing. Why would Syria hate us? Let's see. Or for example, Syria. Why would they hate us? Well, let's see. We have Obama that sent missiles on them, killing innocent people. We had Donald Trump, which the first time he was claimed to be presidential was when he killed a lot of innocent people under the guise, which was then proven false and faked, of chemical weapons. Yes, it was proven faked. It was bullshit. Sorry, he got it off of Facebook. And it was faked. Yeah, the whole thing. Even people that were there said was faked. People in the videos. There was a little boy in the video, and he went on to the Russian news to explain it, and the American people attacked the little boy, the journalist, for telling what the little boy believed. Yeah. That pathetic. Pathetic. He didn't go with your narrative, so you attacked him. Yeah. Now, people are getting used as left and right. So his biggest presidential thing when he first started was bullshit. I called it when I first saw it. And the same thing with Biden. You all said, oh, Biden's presidential now. He bombed Syria. Every time a president bombs somebody, murders innocent people and children, that's presidential? Come on. Do you people not realize that the people that are the problems are the people in charge? Or is this really just the this is my team moment and I'm only going to shoot for my team? How about shooting for what's right? Have a moral code. Have a real moral code. I don't care what country you're in. Killing innocent civilians and children is not right. It never has been. It wasn't in Vietnam, and it wasn't in Korea. It wasn't in World War II, and it isn't now. People just don't have morals anymore. Yes, it's something that happens in war, but that doesn't mean it's right. Matter of fact, it's a good reason not to have war and not to attack innocent civilians. You ever think of that? Oh, and gassing innocent civilians, even if that were the case, and then bombing the very same innocent civilians later on is a good thing that helps the people? That's humanitarian? That's presidential? American people, what is wrong with you? And then you're worried about some Me Too, what this person stands for, what this TV show was years ago. Whoop-de-doo. Grow a backbone. Something that was played on TV years ago. I'm going to tell you what was told to many people a long time ago. Turn the channel if you don't like it. Don't watch it. Obviously, people liked it if they watched it. You're offended now? Don't watch it. You're offended at me? Don't watch me. I was okay with the Me Too stuff when it was, okay, this person assaulted them, and then they were getting away with it, and that was the Me Too. But this woke crap, I'm going to tell you something about your woke crap. Yeah. I have the God-given right to offend whoever the fuck I want. Actually, it's not even God-given. It's country-given. It's what it's called to be freedom of speech. And yes, YouTube has the right to throw me off for this. But I have the right to offend whoever I want. Now, I do not have the right to harass, to insult directly and follow them around and harass them. Harassment is when you are actually, or at least it used to be, when you're actually walking up to somebody and constantly bothering them with something. They're not going to you. If you are on a channel, if you are on a TV channel, if you are on something and somebody has a problem with it and they need it removed for that reason, there's something wrong with you people. Change the channel. There used to be a thing called free debate. I guess you don't like being told you're wrong. You can't debate. You're not knowledgeable enough. You're not smart enough to debate something. If you're right, prove it with debate. Debating people was a good thing. Showing points of view was a good thing for many years. It's what got people their rights. Not burning down buildings. But I guess, that doesn't matter. Because in reality, all you people care about are two things. What you can act out and say, hey, I'm better than the rest of you because I am more offended than the rest of you. And then the other people out there who are doing the other thing. Yes, Black Lives Matters. Yes, white people's lives matters. And being white does not mean you're racist. However, here's the other factor. Black people can be racist too. Oh, and here's the last bit. And I will throw this in there. And this is with this. All this stuff either dealt with the first thing I mentioned or it deals with this. Red versus blue. Are you Democrat or Republican? It's the same fucking party, and neither one means shit. It's a corporate party. Get over it. There is no Democratic Party. There is no Republican Party. It is the corporate party. It's just two sides of the same party. And they're both full of shit. And so's everybody in the United States that believes that. Democrats, Republicans, they believe a couple of little different things, but you're all full of shit. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the individuals, although the individuals are stupid for following them in the first place. Grow a brain, fuck the parties, and do what you think is right morally. Because the guys up above, they're not. They're not moral or ethical. Any of them. None of them. Not a single one. Sailing Prepper, signing out.